In this class, you're going to need a good text editor. A text editor is what you use to edit HTML, CSS, JavaScript, really any number of things that have to do with code. Because code really just resides on a text file, and that text file is saved with an extension indicating what kind of code it contains. But really, in the end, it's a text file. So let's go ahead and find a text file that works great with Windows. So I'm going to go to look up Notepad++. So I'm on Google, Notepad++. You'll see it's a popular one. I'll type that in, and here we go. There's the Notepad++ home. This is free. That's why I'm pointing this out, because it's free and it's really full-featured, really useful. So come here. Here's the Notepad++ site. Go ahead and download it. Alright, we'll go ahead, download, save the installer file, and let's go ahead, open it up. Sure. Choose English unless you speak a different language, in which case you might not be understanding me. Click OK. I agree. Next. Install. And we'll go ahead and finish. Okay, so here we are looking at Notepad++ once it's opened. And looking around here, you can see that this is a very full-featured text editor. If we open up Notepad, take a look and you can see that it's much less full-featured. We really don't have much in the way of menu options, and it's just basically nothing but a pad for raw text. Whereas with Notepad++, we have a lot more features. For example, we can create a new document, and we can create multiple documents, and they open up in multiple tabs, so we can switch around, which is really handy. And it's got a great find and replace functionality that, you know, if you really get into what this can do with regular expressions and all sorts of things, I mean, you can just rapidly take code and find and replace it with changes throughout the whole document by finding patterns and using pattern replacement. So that's really handy. But one of the nice things, just one of the most basic nice things about Notepad++ or a more advanced note or text editor is the ability for it to be able to highlight your code elements as you work. So I'm going to save this as an HTML file. I'll save it to the desktop. And let's see, we'll just pick hypertext markup language. And we'll save it as demo.html. Yeah, okay, I'll replace it. Okay, so now, you know, sometimes, so just to demonstrate how this works, we'll just put in the basic syntax here of an HTML file, and you know, honestly, some of this stuff in the header I often have to look up. I just don't have memorized, and that's okay if you're the same way. So here's a page that just has some very basic start to our markup. I'm just going to grab that just for a demonstration to show how this works. Type that in, and you see here I've just typed in my code, and it's all nice and highlighted for me. I can come down, body, close my HTML tag, and you notice it'll do these nice things for me, like highlight where the opening tag is and where the closing tag is, so I can start to include my code. So like my web page, you see how it just automatically kind of figures out what it is I'm doing. Oh, there we go. This is a demonstration of how a good text editor can highlight your code, and you see it automatically wraps for me, shows me exactly how things work. let's see. For example, it does the following. So then I can do things like indent. Oops. Highlights your code. And then it automatically keeps your indentation as you go, so it helps you organize your code in a nice way. Indents automatically. Can open multiple documents at once. Etc. And then let's say you decide you're going to put something like this in a div or something. You can highlight this whole section of code, hit tab on your keyboard, and voila, everything just indents all together. And then you can drop in other items. Don't be too distracted here by what I'm typing. It might be a little early for you to be doing this in this week, but I just want you to see how these text editors work and give you more capability and why you want to use something like this. It just makes it so much easier. I mean, think about this. Now we take this same code and we copy it, and let's go and open up Notepad and plug it in. And just think of the difference between finding your code, something in your code here versus finding it over here. And here we've already done our, we already have things indented and everything, but you notice here we don't keep our indents like we do in Notepad++. So highly recommend that you use Notepad++ if you're a Windows user, or if you've already got a text editor that you like, go use that instead. But go ahead and install it. This is free, and you'll have a better experience overall.